What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm bringing you a game from the defense. This is going to be between 4FC and Moscow 5. Cards on the table. I have never heard of 4FC before. The only thing I could find about them is I think they're from South America. I think it was Chile. I'm not really sure about that, but 4FC not really as well known as Moscow 5. Moscow 5 has had some pretty, they're a pretty strong team, and they really have a good label on top of that. Let's just go look at the bans. 4FC going for the Invoker ban first, standard ban, and M5 responding with the Chen. So they both want to make sure that the other team doesn't have a lot of control over the big fights. Invoker, one of the best control heroes as far as the big fights go. Either way you build them, actually. If you get the Exhort build, you're going to have a lot of damage coming out, and you could just control the fights by bruising people out of the way. And if you go the Quas Wex build, then obviously you get the Mana Drain, you get the utility from Tornado, and it's all just fantastic. Chaos Knight, Lycan are going to be in the second round of bans. Chaos Knight, of course, being the flavor ban of the month, but he's really been tearing things up, so it's kind of understandable. And Lycan, never quite seeing the light of day. He's always in that solitary ban cave all alone with his wolves. Poor Lycan. But if you're a jungler who's that strong, then you're going to be banned. So it's the unfortunate life that Lycan lives. Yeah, so Four Friends and Trilly. Okay. So they actually, I guess Trilly is like some kind of captain of this team, and the rest are his or her 4 friends. That actually kind of makes sense. So here we go. We solved the mystery of 4FC. I'm learning all about them right now. The third ban is going to be the Darkseer for them. Darkseer is a very capable suicide laner, and of course he could always jungle. So 4FC playing it safe by eliminating him right off the bat, and so far the bans pretty much what you would expect from any given game of Dota, nowadays at least. Yeah, there's still Enchantress in the pool, there's still like Windrunner, there's still the really popular heroes who I'm sure we're going to be seeing. But we're just going to have to wait and see who they are. And look, there's one of the most popular heroes in Nature's Prophet, getting the global presence, getting these, the Treant pushing, not to mention his ultimate, which pushes all the lanes without you even needing to be there. So, Nature's Prophet, extremely versatile. You have to watch out for his ganking, or just watch out for his pushing. Either way, you have to keep tabs on him, no matter where he is. M5, responding with a Leshrac Sand King combination pick. Of course, Leshrac and Sand King, very strong heroes individually, but if you put them together, they just get so much stronger. A Burrow Strike is perfect setup into a Split Earth. Even though Burrow Strike isn't the longest range at lower levels, and when it's level 1, its range is pretty freaking pathetic. It's still a guaranteed stun and a guaranteed setup for a Split Earth. And if you get a little bit more damage on top of that with an Edict, even if it's a level 1 Edict or just some right clicks, it's going to be enough to take down a soft hero like Shadow Demon or a soft hero like Nature's Prophet. So M5 have a pretty good dual or possibly tri-lane in those 2 picks right off the bat. Looks like 4FC going to be picking up the Shadow Demon and the Windrunner. Of course, hardly a game goes by when we don't see the Windrunner, so should all be used to her in the games by now. Shadow Demon, a very aggressive support hero. Of course all support heroes could do some pretty good damage, but Shadow Demon really scales well later into the game. You get the illusions of your enemies who deal quite a bit of damage, not to mention Soul Catcher, which is just ridiculous as far as damage output goes. So yeah, actually I kind of want to talk about this Leshrac Sand King still. And Leshrac Sand King, you could put him in a dual lane, you could get a third hero like a Morphling or something and make it a tri-lane. Or you could just split them up, and even though split up you don't get that extra synergy kind of bonus thing. They still are extremely capable heroes on their own. Sand King can play a pseudo babysit role. Of course, it depends on how the lane he's up against is being managed by the other team. It's kind of iffy at that point, but of course Leshrac can do the exact same thing. Leshrac is also more than capable of sitting in a lane by himself, getting some points of lightning for counter push, and then just doing work that way. And then we actually see a Batrider coming out from M5, and Batrider is a pick that you don't see very often, so it's pretty cool that we see him. Batrider is a pretty huge utility hero who kind of gets damage out as an afterthought. Of course, it's not exactly how it goes. I'm kind of just like emphasizing that a little bit too much, I guess. But Batrider is going to be getting up a Blink Dagger and going to be lassoing people out of position. And of course, early game, Sticky Napalm. Such an annoying spell to lane up against. Mostly because of that flat turn rate reduction, which is something that you might not think is a big deal, but hell, one stack of Napalm and you're turning extremely slowly. It's just a pain in the ass. Of course, Batrider can also solo up a lane if need be. 2 more bans coming out from each team. Gonna be Night Stalker and Brewmaster, 2 heroes who are pretty frequently picked. 4FC eliminating the Night Stalker so that M5 doesn't have a completely dominant ganking lineup. Their heroes are experience dependent, so they are going to need to either get some pretty solid lanes, they're going to have to lock down their lanes, or they're just going to have to get a ton of kills if they want to stay relevant moving forward into the game. Of course, Brewmaster has one of the best control ultimates in the game with that Primal Split. You can't really do anything to stop the split, because you would try to focus down the pandas, but good luck doing that, and can't stop them with a black hole. It's just really hard to manage. And 4FC actually banning the Krob, the Death Prophet. Maybe scared of M5's potential pushing lineup. Of course, Batrider could clear off a wave extremely quickly. Of course, you got the Edict and Sand King, so M5 could very easily have transitioned into a pure pushing lineup, but not anymore. 4FC is not going to be able to pick the Tidehunter as well. There's also a fairly common pick or ban. So eliminating that huge AoE ultimate. And right now 4FC's ultimates are very how should I say it? How should I put this? They're really focused on one hero at a time. So, you got the Demonic Purge, you have the Windrunner's ultimate, which isn't used that often effectively, but it still does pretty good damage. Nature's Prophet's ultimate, it's you could kind of consider it an AoE ultimate, but it's definitely not the same as a Ravage. Of course, it is global, so it does have that advantage. M5, they do have a lot of AoE coming out from Sand King and Leshrac right off the bat, so M5 is actually geared up for a pretty decent teamfight team, especially with the initiation coming out from the Batrider.
Enchantress.
Looks like 4FC is going to pick up the Enchantress, so they have some pretty vicious push going on in their team. Of course, Enchantress could grab the Troll Warlord, grab a Centaur Ursa, any of those good creeps, and with Nature's Prophet, could just completely demolish a couple of towers. We're going to see if 4FC is going to decide to really commit to their early mid-game lineup, pick up someone who isn't necessarily a hard carry, but is still very powerful in the early stages of the game. Someone like Queen of Pain or Storm Spirit might not be bad for them. Or they could just pick the more investment type pick in an anti-mage or a morphling or something like that, and just use their lineup to defend the morphling until he's morphling or anti-mage or carry or whoever they decide to pick, until he's big enough to completely squash the M5 team. M5, you're going to be seeing what they want for their pick. Batrider is a solo lane, I'm guessing. Usually you lane Batrider because he is in desperate need of experience. You want to get that Sticky Napalm up, you want to get higher levels of Firefly, and 1 level of whatever his other skill is called that no one really uses. Flame Break? It's Flame Break. Venomancer is going to be the final one of the. That is not the final pick. That is the fourth pick. Fourth pick, Venomancer coming out from M5. So they're pretty support heavy, and they have a lot of spell damage coming out from M5. Venomancer, of course, is pretty good at anti-push, but the push coming out from 4FC comes a lot earlier than Venomancer could get his anti-push out. His anti-push really excels when he's at level 3 or 4 wards on his wards, and Enchantress and Nature's Prophet could get a push extremely earlier than Venomancer's level 3 or 4 wards. And we actually see Kunkka coming out from 4FC, so an extremely powerful team fight hero, also very capable in lane, especially when paired up with a Shadow Demon or with an Enchantress waiting in the wings. Disruption into Torrent, into chopping people with your giant sword, especially against the kind of soft-ish lineup of M5, will be a pretty good lane combo. We're going to see if they decide to lane maybe like Kunkka, Shadow Demon, Enchantress bot. Might not be something that is... No, yeah, I think it'll actually be a pretty effective tri-lane. It's the M5 picking up the hard carry of their own, so they're set for the late game. 4FC, Kunkka is capable of doing a lot of damage later in the game, but the damage that he deals is I don't want to say not comparable to the Morphling, since Kunkka get a lot of damage out, but it's just a kind of different way of carrying into the game. Kunkka is very AoE based, and his damage could be easily mitigated by kiting. And in this case, in M5, you got Burrow Strike, you got the Sticky Napalm, and you got the Venomancer. So Kunkka is going to have some trouble getting in and really getting off those slashes, whereas Morphling has that waveform, has the replicate jump. So could remain extremely mobile in the fights. One of the disadvantages of picking up Kunkka, well, any melee hero really, is that they're going to have trouble sticking on their targets. You really have to focus all of your other heroes to make sure that your melee hero is able to get in close and do the damage. And now see, all the heroes are in, and we're going to go over who's playing what. We have Blood Angel on the Venomancer, SS on the Morphling, PGG on Leshrac, Admir, I'm pretty sure it's Admiration, on Sand King, and VVV on Batrider. That is Vigos, I'm pretty sure. Boom is going to be playing the Enchantress. I cannot read that. Fabio Coentrala something. Fabio is the Kunkka. And what is that? Ares Loco playing the Shadow Demon. Truly on the Nature's Prophet, and I'm gonna call that Alex on the Windrunner. Definitely not a language that I could read. I mean, like, it's the characters that I could read, but I don't speak whatever language this is. I'm guessing it's Spanish? I have no idea. But it looks like Shadow Demon is going to be laning with that Kunkka. They're actually going to go to the top lane. Going to be up against a Batrider. I'm not sure if this is entirely the right idea. There's going to be a Morphling soloing mid. I imagine if we're going to do a tri-lane, the Morphling would have been with these guys, and someone like PGG would have moved to the mid lane after the early game skirmish.
Illusion.
So Batrider is going to spot out that Enchantress, and is maybe Enchantress positioning herself and actually heading towards the Dire jungle. So they might tri-lane aggressively on the top lane with an Enchantress in the enemy jungle. Of course, Batrider will struggle quite a bit from that. Batrider really needs a lot of room in his lane to survive, because he does have Sticky Napalm, but he could get brought down pretty easily. On the bottom lane, Alex the Windrunner is going to be up against a very vicious kill tri-lane. Right now, Admiration is getting the farm, and looks like they're actually wanting to go on this. There goes the Burrow Strike onto Alex. I don't think they could really get this kill. They are going to try, though. Poison goes onto him as well, as they're diving way past the tier 1 tower. PGG tanking up the tower currently. Alex pops with that wind run, but a double stun from M5 might be enough. Are they going to get? Yes, they do manage to pick up the Windrunner and get first blood, but Venomancer is going to pay with his life. Of course, that is beneficial for them. As you see, actually, kind of a skirmish going off. Vigas is going to get torrented into the air, but 7 stacks of that oil onto Kunkka, and he's going to go down. Not without Batrider losing his life, however. So, yeah, 1 minute into the game, 4 kills. That's what I like to see. Very nice. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to be getting this farm on the bot lane. And tri lane, there's always one person who you want to get all the farm and 2 others to kind of be controlling and pressuring the lane, either actively or passively. You see another Gale going off onto Windrunner. She immediately pops the Windrun. They're not going to be able to catch up on her, but Windrunner is going to have a really tough time down there. Boom in the meantime, jungling up in the enemy jungle and making sure that the Batrider cannot get any of those pulls off. See, they're seeing a fight over here. The skeletons are going to go on Vigas, and he is going to pop that Firefly, and he's going to get a charge of oil onto the Enchantress. Is there? Yeah, there's an invisibility rune, so nothing's going to happen here. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but he did manage to. Boom managed to pop out those Nature's Intendants. He's actually walking right back in the Firefly. Not the best. See, M5 putting up a very aggressive ward, and they're looking for Alex. They know he's somewhere. They can't find him. That is a very sneaky position. Windrunner barely managing to escape death right there. If they found Windrunner, she would have been so screwed. And Vigas now forced to just contend with the neutral creeps. He does have quite a bit of stacks on that Centaur, so he can do a lot of damage to it, but if Batrider is soloing a lane and he's not able to actually get the lane's experience, it's definitely not the best situation for that hero. You see him just a little bit out-leveling that Kunkka, but of course you have the Shadow Demon experience coming in as well. You see Batrider instantly flying away, trying to escape that Centaur's stomp, and Centaur did not get his stomp off. Now we're going to have some pretty sick jukes going on here. Centaur taking a lot of damage. Centaur might even go down to the fire if he keeps running into it. Now Centaur is not going to die, so no pickup by the Batrider as far as that goes. Meanwhile on the bot lane, pretty heavy shenanigans going on. Looks like Sand King is actually going to be one getting the farm, and they're very aggressive on this Windrunner. Are they going to Burrow Strike? I think it's a mistake if he's going to Burrow Strike. I guess he just wants to right-click, or right-click fight. And they're definitely want to say he's not going to get the kill, but then again, yeah, he's just trying to force out that Windrun, which he does do successfully. In the mid lane, which is kind of the neglected lane so far, we have a Morphling completely outlaning Nature's Prophet. Morphling is, wow, stomping him in the lane. 21 for 22 versus only 4 for 1. Morphling is 2 levels above him, so you dive onto Batrider on the top lane. He does get taken out. My apologies for missing that. But Morphling just completely demolishing this Prophet, and that's not working well for 4FC at all. I guess you should be expecting more from someone who has a team named after him. I don't know. I haven't been watching. Anyway, on the top lane, you do have that Tidebringer, and you do have an Enchantress, so they could do quite a bit of damage to this tower, get a neutral creep to tank it up, Tidebringer to bring down the creep wave, as we see PGG going very aggressively on Alex. Alex is forced to duck into the trees, and I guess they're just going to exchange right clicks. Of course, PGG is timed for exchanging the right clicks, and he's actually just going to move the creeps out of the lane, as we see Burrow Strike going onto Alex. We see double TP support coming in. Sand King is in trouble. He's going to take a power shot, and Shadow Demon is going to get the right click, and now Blood Angel stuck in the trees. Are they going to find him? Is there a destruction? Yes, there is a destruction at the last possible millisecond. Blood Angel is going to go down as well. He's laying down a couple wards, do a little bit more damage before he bites the dust, but that was very quick response time from 4FC, and that bought them 2 kills. M5 diving extremely aggressively. It really didn't pay off for them. In the meantime, Morphling just going to go to the double damage rune that PGG is camping out for him, and they're going to run into this Nature's Prophet. Leshrac is only level 3, but then again, Nature's Prophet only level 4, so not the most damage coming out from either one of these. Edict will wreck Nature's Prophet pretty badly, though. And Morphling is actually here as well. That is a Replicant. That is not an Illusion Rune. Are they going to go for this? If PGG managed to land a stun, then Charlie is dead. Morphling is going to come for this. He just needs one more right click. There it is. Morphling gets a very easy kill, even though PGG did miss his Split Earth. So, good pickup by M5, mostly because it is on that Morphling, who is already doing pretty well for himself. He could get his Ring of Aquila if he decides to do so. We now see 6 stacks of oil on that Kunkka, and there goes the Firefly. Batrider wants this kill. Kunkka is going to take a little bit of damage. He just needs one more right click. Is it going to be there? No, Batrider is going to fall. See PGG diving very aggressively. Is he going to hit anything? No, Kunkka is way up in the trees. Edict is going to go off, and it might... No, it's not going to take him down. Shadow Demon managing to pick up a double kill from that engagement. So Shadow Demon, being in the right places at the right time, is now 4, 0, and 2. So he's going to be rolling in the dough. He's going to be able to ward up very successfully. Maybe even manage to get an early Arcane Boots. Bot lane still hasn't been pushed down, but their dive before and their subsequent loss of 2 heroes really set them back as far as that push goes. Stanking actually you see taking up 1 point of Caustic Finale, something you don't really see as there's another gank going on to Shrilly in the mid lane. Waveform actually misses, and is there going to be a Split Earth? He really needs to land the Split Earth. No, Split Earth misses. It is only level 1 Split Earth, which is very hard to hit. Batrider is here. He does want a piece of this action. SS is taking a lot of damage, however. His Torrent is going to completely whiff everything. You see PGG actually getting away with the Replicant, managing to fool that Kunkka. Batrider, is he going to get out? Is there a disruption? No, there's no disruption, but it doesn't matter. Right click damage is enough. SS is now on the run. He's going to take a Torrent, and he's going to go down as well. So Kunkka managing to pick up that Morphling kill, and Morphling actually buys back into the game. I'm not sure if that's the best choice. Buyback is only 300 gold. And I mean, like, if he gets all these creeps, then he's gonna get it. So I guess it's kind of a wash as far as gold goes, and it's a gain for experience. So if he gets this lane completely to himself, it might be worth it for him to have used that buyback. But 4FC playing very well and responding to the aggressive acts of M5. Prophet did fall, but Prophet's getting pretty much screwed over this entire game anyway. Doesn't have any farm, and he's probably best off just going into the jungle with Enchantress because he's not getting anything anywhere else. Now see PGG with the Haste Rune and 140 life, so he's living dangerously. Of course, the Batrider is waiting in the wings with that lasso now up. He is also smoked. Is Admiration smoked? No, Admiration is still healthy. You see it. Oh god, SS, you're taking so much damage. Holy shit. Disruption, Soul Catcher, Torrent. That was pretty much enough to outright kill the Morphling. Just needed one last right click to seal the deal. And there's so much damage coming out from that Disruption combination, which now has a level 4 Soul Catcher. Shadow Demon is actually level 7. He did extremely well for himself, being in that dual tri-combination lane. Now we see 4C going to be claiming their first tower. Let's see if Kunkka is going to get this hit. Yes, he is going to get the last hit, so Kunkka is going to have quite a bit of money as well. And as I said before, Shadow Demon has managed to pick up the early Arcane Boots, so he's going to be able to be extremely effective in teleporting around and laying down all the spells that he needs, all the good, shadowy, dark, damaging spells. In the meantime, Alex not having the best time against the Batrider, but he's going to be getting support from the Enchantress quite soon. Both these heroes actually not doing the best as far as farm goes. Alex is 2 for 1, however, where Batrider is 1 for 4. So he is doing a little bit better as far as that goes. And Morphling is once again going to be taken out by the huge combo coming out from the Radiant team. Admiration trying to get a last hit kill on that Kunkka, but Kunkka teleporting out. Very good on him to identify that there's no mana for Burrow Strike, and therefore he is safe to just leave that part of the map. PGG doing something. He's just jungling up with Edict. And support Leshrac and be pretty poor. Didn't get any of that bot lane farm. That was actually all going on Admiration, who did manage to pick up an urn and a bottle. We now see something going on to the bot lane. Batrider is on the run. Firefly has popped, and it doesn't look like 4FC is interested in chasing this. Oh, that is unfortunate for them. Maybe they did want that kill, but Enchantress had disconnected. That'll actually be pretty bad for them. Especially considering the fact that they did have a Dark Troll Warlord, and a net is one of the best things to shut down a Bat Rider. Makes sense, right? You throw a net at a bat, kind of. More reliable than a Stomp or any of the other creep seals that you're going to get. Especially when Bat Rider is flying over everything. Just take a look at some of these farm numbers. Venomancer actually has 30 creep kills. Was he getting the farm? I don't know. I guess there wasn't any real dedicated farmer on the bot lane. I guess the only rule on the bot lane for M5 was Leshrac, you don't get anything, and PGG kind of okay with that. He's, even though he didn't get the farm, he did manage to get a lot of money elsewhere. He is actively ganking in many places. And Enchantress DCing from everything. That I want to say that definitely costed them the kill onto Bat Rider. If their Enchantress didn't fall back, and if there wasn't that delay between actually like pressing the disconnect button or losing internet or whatever, and moving back, making your hero dot green, I think it could have made them get an additional kill on the Bat Rider, who's right now 1 for 4, so not the best game from the Bat Rider. Bat Rider really needs a lot of early levels, and he's only level 6. Level 6 in a solo lane. Venomancer, who's on the tri-lane, is also level 6. Sand King as well. Leshrac kind of getting screwed over in that regard somehow, but Morphling, level 9. So Bat Rider, even though he is almost level 7, you kind of expect more from a Bat Rider who's soloing a lane. Of course, the situations didn't really allow him to do that, but that's okay. Bat Rider, I'm sure, will find farm somewhere, and really all he needs is a Blink Dagger, and then he's effective. One thing that Bat Rider has to watch out for is Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is a fairly hard counter to Bat Rider. If Bat Rider blinks in and doesn't have a BKB, then Bat Rider's just instantly going to be disrupted, and his lasso is not going to be nearly as effective as it can be. What is that, a 2.5 banish duration and a 3-second? Yeah. 3-second flaming lasso. I mean, like, you get 0.5 to drag, and it's going to hurt. Shadow Demon can also potentially disrupt his ally, which I'm actually not sure how that works. I feel like you can't pull around that disruption ball, because that would just look crazy. But I've actually never seen it done, so that might be. I have no idea how that works actually. So hopefully we get to see. Morphling. Picking up treads, I don't think he had those before. He has quite a bit of farm. He is sitting at, wow, look at this Morphling, living on the edge. 1 strength, 82 agility, a ton of damage. I'm not sure if that's how he was sitting in the lane. But a torrent that takes out more than half of his health. He's probably sitting at like something like 600 health, and he just wanted to get... Oh, great, I have to wait for a computer restart. Fantastic. Probably sitting at around 600 health. It's usually a safe-ish kind of amount for Morphling. You could live through the stuns, and then you just waveform out, and then hope for the best. I agree, Admiration. How... Oh. Thought that was a misspelling of lame. But I would also like to know how long. But Morphling... I'm actually not sure why his agility is like this. I mean, like, with a Nature's Prophet on the map, you don't really want to be sitting at 300 health at all times. It's not the most safest of moves. Of course, he does have Morph maxed out, so he could get a lot of health extremely quickly and switch to his Strength Treads. So maybe it was just a restore in the fountain faster kind of thing. Of course, if you do have... Well, that doesn't even make sense either, because Fountain Restore is percentage based, so if you have 100 health total, you're going to get... If you have 100 health total and 1% of your health on you, then you're going to be at full health at the same time as someone who has 6,000 health and 1% health on them. Of course, Bottle is going to help a little bit with that since it has flatten mounts. But I think that is enough of that. Venomancer actually has also picked up Arcane Boots, so kind of a wash. Venomancer, Shadow Demon. Actually, almost have the exact same gear. It's kind of disappointing. We have another branch on Venomancer instead of that Sentry Ward. So, Blood Angel and Eris Loco really need to get their communication up. Make sure they have mirror builds. Support heroes should have always the same build, because that is hilarious to see. And usually the build is pretty optimized. Zanking has kind of interestingly taken a point of Caustic Finale. Like there is quite a bit of pushing coming out from 4FC. They do have the Nature's Prophet chance, but they're only level 1. You do have Enchantress, his miscellaneous creeps, so Caustic Finale I'm pretty sure is not specifically for those heroes, since he was laning on the bot lane. You can tell from the aggressive pulling from PGG, the Leshrac of the creeps out of the lane. They really just wanted to bring the tower. Oh my god. Really? They really just wanted to bring the tower down as soon as they possibly can, and the level of Caustic Finale is going to help quite a bit with that. And we see Ham Sandwich dropping down the knowledge. Smoking is bad for you. Kids, don't smoke. And PGG doing the right thing. These guys, real role models. Kunkka? I haven't talked about Kunkka yet during this pause, and this pause is really taking forever. So, gonna go over Kunkka. He has gotten the phase boots. Pretty standard stuff from Kunkka because, well, first of all, mobility is amazing on him. And second of all, the extra damage that you get isn't just for one target. It is going to be cleaved. And the mobility combined with the extra damage really is what Kunkka needs. He's very much a burst melee DPSer compared to... oh yeah, okay, so he's very much a burst melee DPSer. You really count on that one huge Tidebringer, kill everything in one hit, or bring them extremely weak kind of playstyle, compared to something like an anti-mage who you would see getting, anti-mage would get bulk, they would get damage, they would get attack speed, is a lot more balanced. That's kind of the reason why you see Kunkka's going for, I'm assuming this quarterstaff is going to be for Shadowblade. Shadowblade gives you that extra damage, which is going to be cleaved, and of course gives you that invisibility, so you get safety for a couple of times. Really? M5, all three of you are smoking? I guess it is kind of stressful, but Kunkka, quarterstaff, probably going to be going for Shadowblade. That's the build that you most commonly see with Kunkka. Of course, usually is preceded by something tanky. Usually see a Vanguard into something damaging. But it looks like Fabio not interested in doing that. Gonna be going for that quarterstaff right off the bat. It might be for a force staff. I don't. Like force staff is a good item on pretty much everyone except for like anti-mage and the blinkers. Force staff is always a very useful utility item to have. Just not sure if it's the best item to have on a Kunkka. Like Kunkka, if you manage his mana properly, he's not going to run out. So you don't necessarily need extra intelligence. Gives you a little bit of damage, which is great, but there are better items to get for damage, especially with the quarterstaff, namely Shadowblade. And you don't really need to get in position, because Kunkka, as long as you can get a beat on them with Shadow Demon or X marks the spot, then you're going to be able to land your spells no matter what. So, not sure how good that force staff is going to be for him. And I'm just really tired of this pause. Thank you, please PGG, bring me out of this pause. I want to see some action. Thank you, PGG. 4FC, you better be ready too. There we go. Okay, we're going to be back into this game. So everyone had their smoke break. Did manage to go to the bathroom, let the piss out. So everyone's ready to go. And now I have absolutely nothing to talk about since I already covered everything during that long-ass pause. Venomancer is going to be actually leaving the mid lane, going to be giving that true admiration. You see Charlie going to be coming back, but he's playing pretty cautiously. Oh my god. PGG just got completely demolished by a Kunkka. That was... he didn't even need to have his ghost ship up. He didn't use it. It must have been just a torrent into a Tidebringer, so... sorry I missed that, but I wasn't expecting Kunkka to get a solo kill. It's kind of hard to solo kill when you don't have a boat up. But he made it happen. And now we see SS farming in his jungle. He's probably just waiting for the Kunkka to leave before he actually returns to the lane. He needs the lane farm quite desperately. You see him actually getting a little bit more strength, so good on him. It's always very unsettling when you see a Morphling sitting at 300 HP max, especially this early in the game. Two heroes, Eris, Loco, and Alex, are in the bot lane, not necessarily pushing it, more just killing the creeps and just farming the wave. Boom is around to back them up, however, if they get engaged on, which is not going to happen actually. PGG just resorting to taking out these neutrals. Definitely not the optimum solution for Leshrac. I mean, like, he's getting something, which is a lot more than he would be getting otherwise. You see a curse and a disruption going off on the Batrider. Batrider just going to pop his Firefly and fly away. He even takes a Demonic Purge, so he's going to be hurting, but he's going to survive. He does have a salve, so he's going to be up at full health in no time. Actually taking some of those lizard kills from Blood Angel. As I was saying before, Leshrac is either usually going... oh no, Leshrac. There goes the Tidebringer, and is the Torrent going to hit? No, Torrent's going to miss completely, but here comes the big boat. That is a fail boat, as PGG is still on the run. Meanwhile, Blood Angel does get picked off by Nature's Prophet. Admiration coming to save PGG. Is it going to be enough? There goes Split Earth. Double stun on Trilly, but he does manage to get that last hit out. So Nature's Prophet, I'm not sure where Venomancer died. Venomancer probably just took some damage, or I'm like, that was definitely the Nature's Prophet ultimate that got him the kill on the Venomancer. I'm not sure if the other members of 4FC were there also participating in that. Now Batrider getting pushed back quite far from his tier 1 tower, and this tier 1 tower is going to get brought down no matter what. Eris Loco, however, going way too far, tries for the defensive disruption, is not does not have enough time to actually get it. This tower now very weak, is going to get denied, so a little bit of gold denied to 4FC, but well, there are one tower ahead still, and now another tower ahead. Look at that gold graph. That was the pause, actually. So that's not really saying much, but still in favor of 4FC. You would expect that from having 8 kills advantage, and Experience also kind of doing the same thing. Arcane Boots now up on Sand King, going to be farming the bot lane. No one from 4FC rotating in, as we now see support Leshrac, support Venomancer, splitting the Ancients. The great thing about Venomancer and Leshrac is that they both could do okay versus Ancients, especially Venomancer. Those Venom wards, very useful in taking those down. Now see Batrider smoked up, and he does have a replicate. Do they want to go on to Fabio though? Fabio does have that Claymore, so he is going to be getting that Shadow Blade. Batrider is in position. Do they know? They do see him now. There goes a Torrent. Is he going to get hit by this? Yes, he is going to get hit by it. But you see Vigos immediately springing into action as Morphling actually replicates away. So nothing's going to happen there. You see Batrider also going to get disrupted and going to dodge that level of Shadow Poison. Where did Morphling go? Morphling went all the way back here, so Morphling is completely safe. Managed to draw out a couple of spells, but in exchange, of course, for some of his health pool. And the Batrider not really being too effective, as he actually is going to start getting 3 points of Flame Break. I don't know, I guess it's a pretty good choice actually in this situation. Usually you see a maxed out Sticky Napalm, 1 level of Flame Break, and then, you know, getting as much Firefly as you can. Of course, getting Flame Break once everything else is done. But in this situation where he just doesn't have anything, he doesn't have any durability, he doesn't have any initiation quite yet, it might be worth it for him to just get the long-range, reliable nuke of Flame Break. Of course, the Flame Break could disrupt the Wilkin if he manages to see him, but that Tornado is just way too far away. Morphling now with a Perseverance, going to be going for a Lincoln Sphere, which will deny 4FC that disruption initiation on him. Of course, it will also help him against Sprout and the Shackle Shot, but it's mostly to prevent that disruption setup, in my opinion. Besides giving him some pretty balanced stats as well. So you just pretty passive farming going out. It looks like 4FC now knows that Blood Angel is farming up neutrals, but I doubt they're going to be doing anything about that. Dire Ward is there to spot out the Haste Rune and anyone potentially rotating up towards that Venomancer, but it is going to time out in like 3 seconds.
I guess I can.
Windrunner grabbing the Haste Rune. The Ward was still up for M5 to see that, so they're not going to get surprised by Hasty Windrunner and Batrider. 400 gold off of his Blink Dagger, so he's going to have that relatively shortly. And meanwhile, PGG is going to find Fabio and the Shadow Demon. That is a great name for a romance novel, actually. Fabio and the Shadow Demon. Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
I'm not going to read that, but as I was taking a torrent and taking out half his health just by 2 spells from the Kunkka. Kunkka now has a Shadow Blade completed, and I don't think M5 know that quite yet. Kunkka is sitting at only 500 health, and he is now spotted out. PGG going onto Boom, taking Edict damage, but he does have that heal up, and now a lot of damage going to PGG. He is going to get cursed up, and he is taking impetus to the face. Is he going to die? Yes, Alex is going to take that last click. Now Kunkka managing to get away using his Ghost Ship, and SS is trapped in the Sprout. Is going to actually... No, he replicates away, but the arrows still followed him. I don't know what kind of arrows they're shooting, but they are some sort of magic. So 4FC picking up 2 kills as Kunkka is still around here, just tossing out. No, he actually canceled that. Just try to get rid of all of his mana and then leave the lane. As you see, Blink Dagger, Batrider now set up, so this Windrunner has to be extremely careful. Blink into Flame Lasso will probably mean the death of her. Looks like they're not going to go for that, however, as he actually has his eyes on the Prophet. And Prophet, sitting at half health, is going to be food for the Batrider. Surprise, Batrider now has a Blink Dagger. He's going to try to teleport away, but there's actually no Flaming Lasso. No Flaming Lasso. He actually managed to interrupt using Flame Break, so very well played by the Batrider, making sure he has the most useful contribution to his team when they actually need it. Fabio now going to be coming up to meet the Batrider in the lane, but unfortunately for him, Admiration, PGG, and Blood Angel are all rotating down. And this Kunkka does have invisibility, however. Do they have enough? There's the lasso, but kind of overlapping with the Burrow Strike, but there's just a huge amount of AoE damage coming up. Fabio is going to be taken down by the AoE damage. AoE doesn't care where you are. You're still going to be taking all of that damage. In the meantime, however, 4FC is pushing into the bid tier 2 tower. Windrunner has a couple of illusions. Are they? Those are illusion rune illusions, so not disruption illusions. Blood Angel has teleported in to defend this, and 4FC has to kind of make a go, commit some of the creeps to it. Are they going to get the deny? Enchantress actually manages... Wow, Enchantress with the Kobold, getting a last hit on the tower. Pretty sick. Little Kobolds doing work. Enchantress is going to be rushing up a pipe. It's not a very common build you see from Enchantress, rushing that item. Of course, pipe will give her a lot of survivability, but she has an extremely low health pool, and pipe with low health is not a good combination. SS and Ares Loco just walking by each other, they now find Boom, and there goes the flame, yeah, Firefly from that Batrider. Boom is taking a lot of damage, but he has that heal up. He's always going to be fine. And Mech Charge even popped out to keep him at full health. And there was no lasso for the Batrider, so Enchantress managed to get out of that situation okay. Blood Angel continuing to farm and stack the Ancients. As you see, 3 heroes kind of looking for a kill, kind of using Fabio as bait. Shadow Demon teleporting to the bot lane to help out Trilly, the Nature's Prophet, who's getting engaged on in PGG. There's actually Disruption and Soul Catcher going on to Leshrac. So Leshrac's taking a lot of damage, he's going to get shackled to a tree, and is going to be brought down by the Shadow Demon. So PGG once again getting picked off and not having the best game of his life. SS does have a bottle haste rune, is a little bit off 400 from his ultimate orb, but 4FC going to be going for that top tower in the meantime, and with 2 centaurs, they're probably going to be getting it, especially with Nature's Prophet teleporting in. But here comes Vigos. He's going to get instantly stunned up, not once but twice. See Blink Epicenter going in from Admiration, catching absolutely no one. Hasted Morphling is going to come in, going to look for a straggler, but there is not going to be anyone, is there? Kunkka does have a Shadow Blade, so he's not going to get picked off by Morphling. But Enchantress, however, is in danger. She is going to take away from him. There goes a Sprout keeping Morphling in place, and they're just going to turn around and right-click him. Sprout into Torrent is a very good combo as Nature's Prophet, with that Medallion of Courage, going to be able to pick up the Morphling, who, quite frankly, dove way too far on something that probably was not going to happen. He didn't have any backup, and the hell was that? I don't know what that was. Was that a misclick? Dust of Appearance on absolutely no one. Whatever. I'm just gonna chalk that one up to a misclick from PGG. Using a Dust of Appearance on an area which, quite frankly, had 0% chance of having anyone invisible. I mean, Kunkka was accounted for. And looks like 4FC with the kill on the Morphling, easy pickoff, is going to be able to bag the top tower of M5. It's going to go down extremely quickly. They could even keep going, quite frankly, but instead they're going to teleport to the mid lane. There goes an X marks the spot, and Torrent combination is going to hit. No, Admiration blinks out at the last second. Well played by him. See more dust going off. I don't think there was anyone invisible. Kunkka wasn't hit by that. There was no one invisible. PGG is now going to get taken down by the Shadow Demon. So Shadow Demon racking up yet another kill. He now has a Force Staff, so he has a very long range initiation from Force Staff and Disruption. Not quite sure what this dust thing is about. Like M5, I'm like, they didn't even have vision of the runes. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on with that dust. But 4FC, after picking out that Leshrac kill, they're going to be doing the exact same thing as they did top, going to be pushing down the bot lane. And with a Kunkka who has a Shadow Blade and Tidebringer, going to be able to easily clear out the creeps, and I don't think Blood Angel can really defend this. If he tries, he's just going to get X-torrented. Level 2 X marks spot is the magic level. Once you get that, then you can just lay both of them down, and then it's pretty much a guaranteed hit on the torrent unless you mess up a whole lot. We see Batrider blinking in, but Disruption rejects the lasso, so no lasso from him. It can only be 5 seconds until his Blink Dagger is back up, however, but he kind of needs his Firefly. He doesn't exactly need it to initiate, but it's still very useful to have if you're going to be blinking in. You want to be dealing that extra damage. Kunkka managed to buy up a Vanguard from... He actually managed to just get it straight up, as you now see no, Batrider is going to take so much damage, going to get shackled to a tree. Here comes the big ship. Isn't going to hit anyone. Rum on a lot of people, but it doesn't necessarily hit any of the enemies. Blood Angel is very weak. He's going to be taken down as Admiration is dusted up, and he is revealed. Alex taking a lot of damage from the Morphling. Is Morphling going to be able to finish the deal? Yes, he is going to get that kill as well. PGG taking a couple of impetuses, but Shirley is going to be Straggler in the back, as we see Admiration actually blocking off Boom. A lot of bloody bot going on there, and we see even another dust. Potentially looking for Kunkka, I guess, but Kunkka is nowhere to be found, as 4FC Boom getting a double kill. No, getting killed, giving Morphling a double kill, and that will give him a Lincoln Sphere. He actually had his Lincoln Sphere quite a while ago, but now he has a Lincoln Sphere and then some. So a good fight by M5, managing to take 4 for only 2 of theirs. I'm sure if Kunkka's boat hit, things would have been a lot differently, but the huge AoE damage coming out from Venomancer, who does have a mech, does have Arcane Boots, and Helm of Iron Will, Robe of the Magi. Is that a Veil of Discord? Yes, it is a Veil of Discord. That is I'm actually surprised I know that. I've only gotten Veil of Discord like once, twice. Not the most common item, but I actually like that choice. You have, of course, your Poison Nova, which does a shit ton of damage regardless of what the enemy magic resistance is. Of course, you also have the epicenter. You have fire coming out from the Batrider, and Leshrac with now level 3 lightning, kind of going for a strange build, but lots of magic damage coming out from M5. Not to mention the Morphling, who might be going for a shotgun, and shotgun with Veil of Discord. That is gonna hurt. That is a lot of pain right there. So I really like that choice coming out from Venomancer. Of course, you know, Force Staff or something like that would also be a very effective choice as well, but Veil of Discord has extra points there for being a rare item. Morphling now sitting at 1200 gold. We're going to have to see what he decides to go for. Mantis Style, well, I don't know. Stacking stats against a Shadow Demon is always dangerous because, especially since considering how much damage Shadow Demon's illusions do, which at only level 2 is 40% damage. A little bit less than normal illusions, but at level 4 it is going to hurt quite a bit, and if you stack agility like Morphlings tend to do, you're going to just be giving, even though you're going to be giving yourself a lot of benefit, you're also going to be giving the enemies a lot of benefit as well, which is something you kind of want to avoid, but is quite frankly inevitable. Maybe that would kind of deter him from a shotgun, even though a shotgun would do quite a bit of damage. We actually see a sheep stick from Nature's Prophet, so he managed to get a lot of money up really quickly. Force Staff mech on the Windrunner. Shadow Demon has a Force Staff as well, as previously mentioned, and the pipe is done from Enchantress. Now she's doing something very smart, getting magic resistance and coupling that with health. You can have all the magic resistance of the world, but if you don't have enough health to survive the right clicks on Morphling, then you know, what good is magic resist going to do for you? Batrider is still sitting at only his blink dagger and nothing else. He's going to blink away from the Kunkka, who is actually going to give chase. Probably just looking for an X Torrent combo. Blink dagger is going to be up relatively soon, but it's not going to be up soon enough. There's the X, there's a Torrent spot on, and Batrider is going to get hexed. Still has a Firefly on him, so Pig burning down some trees, but he's going to be taken down. And 4FC might take that as their cue to push down the tier 2 tower of the bot lane. Gonna go for this one more time. But without that Batrider initiation and slow, it's gonna be, well, especially considering he was only 2 hits away. And now Blood Angel. Blood Angel is gonna get X-Torrented, shackled to a tree. Nature's Prophet getting the last right click once again. That Medallion being very active in its usage. PGG trying to make something happen, trying to force some heroes back, and it looks like it might work. No, it's not going to work. His Edict is maxed out, but just not dealing enough damage. 4FC, after taking out the Venomancer, after taking out the Batrider, still have 5 seconds left, and 5 seconds is pretty much all the time they're going to need to take out Roshan, especially with that Medallion of Courage, and lots of flat damage coming out from the Kunkka. So they're going to be fine there. Admiration seems to know what's going on. He's actually dodging the Shadow Poisons. He is spotted out, however. Is he going to try something awesome? No, he's not. He's actually just going to get disrupted and cursed as he blinks out instantly. Alex is on the chase. Could he get a shackle? Prophet is there to hex him up, and there probably is going to be a shackle as well. Sprout in with him, and the shackle right on the Sprout trees. So Admiral is going to get taken down. PGG is going to get taken down as well by the Shadow Demon. Morphling actually getting a double kill somewhere. Where is that Morphling? Morphling just doing work in the back. That Lincoln Spirit blocking out a Sprout, and now he's going for the rest of 4FC. I'm sorry. Prophet is on the run. Morphling is going to take an X-Torrent, I believe, but now he's just standing toe-to-toe with that Kunkka. Kunkka is actually invisible. Kunkka's going to get away. He did have an Aegis regardless, so he was going to live. Batrider managing to pick up the Nature's Prophet in the back of the fight. So, once again, a really good fight by M5. As we now see, the EXP earned is in their favor, despite being a whole 10 kills down. So, I guess they got a lot more experience from farming the lanes, whatnot. The gold sitting at 1,000, but I'm sure once it updates, it is going to bend down a little bit more into M5's favor, since they did get quite a bit of kills there. And now, M5 taking down the tier 2 tower of 4FC in the mid lane. Now see the Veil of Discord done. Blood Angel, I love this build. Actually, I just love this item. I'm not sure if I love this build. I love both. They're both pretty kick-ass, because you never see Veil of Discord. Especially on a Venomancer. This Venomancer actually has quite a bit of dough. So good play. Good play by M5. really playing through the weak part of their early game, which is kind of expected. Like, they do have Venomancer, they do have Sand King, and Leshrack's damage, but really the power coming out from 4FC early game is just a little bit too much for them. But they managed to hit the mid-game levels, and they're really just taking the fights extremely easily. I think a large part of the experience bonus is coming out purely from Blood Angel. He's been spending a lot of his time just camped out by this Ancient's camp, stacking it up, pulling it out, and getting a lot of experience and gold. Pretty much a solo lane and a half, I'd say. These golems, way too stupid to just realize they should attack these Plague Wards instead of going after for the one that's actually moving around. And these golems were a little bit smarter. They wouldn't all be dying. Probably why they're ancients, and you have the mud golems who just spawn wherever randomly. Maybe mud golems are a little bit smarter. Mud golems actually also don't attack the Plague Wards, but regardless, a lot of experience, a lot of gold coming out for Blood Angel because of those ancients. Oh my god. Tunnel Vision. Leshrack gets picked off by Nature's Prophet. That was Nature's Prophet's ultimate. Probably just a X-Torrent combo, and we now see Kunkka with the Black King bar. A lot of burst damage coming out from this Kunkka, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't landed any amazing ships quite yet. It's pretty hard to land a ship, especially when you're sitting in the middle of the fight. It's easier when you're coming towards the fight, but Kunkka so far has been in the middle. He's been the one really starting things with his X-Torrent combos. Bat Rider now has a gem and an ultimate orb. That might be for a sheep stick. It's most likely going to be for a sheep stick, but he is going to get found by two members of the 4FC side as they use smoke, but they're instantly revealed. Are they still going to go for this? There's a perfect Shackle angle. Shackle actually going very far away as you see a Blink Dagger and a Firefly from that Bat Rider going over those cliffs. He doesn't give a shit. Terrain is not going to hold the Bat Rider. I don't understand why the bat can't always fly like that, since, you know, it's a bat. But Blood Angel still doing his thing at the Ancients, and that is also allowing some easier farm room for M5, since you have that person who's just doing the camp that's kind of hard to camp out at. And we see a Scotty coming out from the Morphling, so really going for a build that, even though he will have a lot of agility and a lot of damage, the utility coming out from Scotty is extremely useful in that it will, I'm pretty sure, will not be transferred to illusions. No, it will not be transferred to illusions. The only orb effect that the illusions get is mana burn. So Scotty, a very good choice by Morphling, making sure he's not giving too much to 4FC. You see a Blink Lasso going out onto the Enchantress. She's going to take a lot of damage. She's going to go down. Leshrack getting the last hit with his Diabolic Edict. This might mean another tower for M5 as they push down the top lane. But 4FC is shifting up the deadly combo of Kunkka and Shadow Demon, try to deal with them. If they manage to lock him down, he's actually waveformed right through the torrent, so I'm not sure if that was luck or extremely Gosu play, but he manages to get out there scot-free. We now see Alex getting kind of surrounded by M5 players, PGG, Vigos, and Light Blue in Admiration. He's going to get taking a Burrow Strike and a Split Earth, going to get killed by a Leshrack Lightning or Edict or something. But Windrunner just the wrong place at the wrong time, and M5 having a perfect flank, getting a very easy kill off. Actually, want us to take a look as we see, even though M5 still quite a few kills down, they do have the gold and experience advantage. It's actually extremely surprising. A lot of that, or I want to say most of that, the majority of that is coming out just purely from farm. 4FC still has two of their towers up. They are kills ahead. We now see an engagement going to be happening. PGG is going to be going for someone. Bat Rider blinks in, getting a lasso up Boom. Boom is probably going to die. No, he's actually going to get disrupted. Actually protecting him from that Venomancer ultimate. No, maybe, I don't know. Boom now going to take a lot of damage. Pipe does go off from him, but Morphling right-click damage. Doesn't care how much magic resistance you have. Morphling now going to be going on to the Nature's Prophet, who's going to try to escape. Not going to be able to do so with that Eye of Scotty. So 3 easy kills being taken by M5, and they're not sure if they're done yet. Blink going forward by Admiration, going to be catching out Kunkka with the Burrow Strike. But there goes a Shadow Blade, and he's going to run out of that just fine. So M5 just continuing to lay down the hurt onto 4FC, and as these fights go by, they're getting more and more ahead. Morphling very, very scary with, 3 ultimate orbs in his inventory right now as far as the items go, and he's sitting at 3,500 gold, so he can choose to buy up something extremely big. Shotgun might not be that bad, although they're having a pretty easy time taking out the supports regardless. Might just go for a Butterfly or Heart. Kunkka now doing a little bit of X shenanigans on himself, just trying to do some damage, Morphling style. See, Venomancer actually sitting at level 15, which is pretty high considering the current stage of the game. He's higher than 2 people on the other team, and well, he's actually the lowest level on his team. M5's Morphling. Wow, actually sitting at level 22. Wow, 330. That is pretty insane farm coming out from the Morphling. His level is really doing quite a bit for the M5 team. Don't expect the hero to be that high level at this stage of the game. Although everyone else is starting to get there, Morphling is just way ahead. Now Sand King has that Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim Scepter will increase your ultimate by quite a bit. Veil technically does increase your Epicenter's ultimate by more than an Aghanim Scepter. But hell, if your ally has a Veil of Discord already, get that Aghanims, get that perfect Epicenter off, completely demolish the other team. Done deal. See, Blood Angel getting more and more of these Ancients. He's now at 3,000 gold, and that's just going to keep rising. We have to see what he's going to get. He might... I want to see something fun, something you don't see on Venomancer, but he's probably just going to go for something safe, like a Force Staff or something like that. Leshrac finally finishing up his Bloodstone, 37 minutes in, so not the best farm from Leshrac, but even so, he's been extremely effective. He hasn't really been taken down in the small skirmishes, which is the fights that he's kind of actively pursuing. And the Split Earth and Lightning, they're always going to be fairly effective as well. You see Blood Angel trying to teleport out. Oh my god, he actually managed to get it. He's sitting right at the top there, and Windrunner forced staffed herself a little bit too far. You now see Admiration going to be teleporting out of this situation as well. So 5 heroes from 4FC were smoked up, and they were looking for kills, but in the end, they just wasted their time. PG just camping out at the Roshan. He is going to see it respawn, and depends how patient he is right now. Batrider is actually only 800 away from his Sheepstake, and once that happens, Kunkka's... Well, he does have a BKB, so it really depends on the timing of each hero's player. Roshan is going to be up right now, in fact. And there he is. Second incarnation of Roshan, so no cheese quite yet. But M5 is in a position to take this. All they have to do is push out the creeps a little bit, then just slip in for the Roshan. They do have Edict, they do have a ton of damage coming out from the Morphling, who now has a Manta style. So there's going to be 3 angry Morphlings coming at you. I'm pretty sure you could just disrupt a Morphling illusion, though, and you'll still get the Morphlings. So Shadow Demon still has that. Still has that as an asset. Right now, Morphling is in the enemy jungle, though. He does not have a disruption, so he could potentially be in a bit of danger. He's actually going to go straight for Boom. Boom's taking a lot of damage. He's actually getting annihilated by the Morphling. And Morphling just going beast mode all over the Radiant team. He's actually on the run right now. Is surely going to be able to actually get a Torrent and a Hex onto the Morphling. Morphling is going to eat full brunt of Kunkka's ship. Is he going to go down, however? He should Strength Morph right now, but he's actually just standing his ground. You see Kunkka getting taken down by that Sand King, and now the Morphling is starting to Strength Morph. Nature's Prophet is going to walk out with just a little bit of health, and Morphling just still sitting here in the fight. Doesn't give a shit. We see now 4FC's last remaining player, Shadow Demon, is on the run. Is there going to be a Blink Dagger? No. Morphling with his Replicate actually going to get that last hit. So a 5-for-1 team wipe for M5. This could mean Roshan. This could mean an attempt at the high ground. This could mean anything. Looks like Morphling, though, was quite weak. Stayed at as high as DPS as he possibly can. So even though it is a little bit risky, it is technically the optimum way to play. The longer you could stay at 300 damage, the better you're going to be. It looks like M5 not going to be opting for a high ground attempt, actually going to be teleporting people back, healing them up, and then going for Roshan. And with 20 seconds till that Prophet, 20 seconds till that Kunkka is up, he actually has a Demon Edge, going to be going for crit most likely. They're going to be able to take this Roshan extremely easily, especially considering how devastating this Morphling is. He's almost level 25. He has picked up a Helm of the Dominator, so really Morphling could just solo up Roshan if he wanted to. Of course, you get a little bit of help, get that Roshan beast down a little bit quicker. Always a good thing. That's like Leshrac actually getting Boots of Travels, upgrading his level 1 boots to that, and Batrider Sheepstick has finished. Let's see what item progression there has been on the Radiant team as Roshan gets taken down by the Dire. Nature's Prophet does have BKB, which he did use in that last fight, but he's... I mean, like, sure, you're magic immune, but the mix of damage coming out from M5 is just spot on right now. It's exactly what they need. Pretty much half magic coming from 4 members, and then half melee coming out from Morphling. As you see, Shadow Demon getting initiated upon by PGG. He's going to get taken out extremely easily, and Trilly is on the run. He is going to hex up PGG. Sprout, however, missing. X Torrent, there's an X, but no Torrent, so no engagement going to be happening there. As you now see Trilly trying to teleport out of this, but is interrupted by the Flame Break. There is a lasso, and Morphling in the meantime just going wild on the other team, managing to take out the Enchantress. Trilly is now going to try to teleport again for the 3rd time, Split Earth canceling once again, and the Flame Break is going to be enough to take out that kill. Morphling and Sand King tanking up the tier 2 tower on the top, and they're just going to be able to take that down very easily. Morphling is just 1,000 gold away from his Satanic, and once he gets that, I don't think 4FC could really stand toe-to-toe. They have to depend on locking him down and just killing him before the fight even starts, but it looks like M5 not even going to give them that chance. Morphling is going to take a Torrent, but it doesn't matter. Once the creep spawn, he just knocks that wave down, takes a whole bunch of health from him, and he's going to go for a Rax, which he's going to get extremely easily. There is an X and Torrent going on to Admiration, but there's no follow-up there. Morphling's actually just going to dive straight for Shadow Demon, going to be able to take that Windrunner as well, Sand King actually getting last hit. And here comes the Kunkka boat, not hitting anyone, mostly just to get that rum on him, to give him a little bit of protection, and Morphling even diving the tower, the fountain a little bit, boom, getting hit and getting knocked down just a couple of hits. Mantis Style actually being purchased up by the Venomancer, so you're going to get a lot of poisonous snakes onto the field, and no one likes fighting against poisonous snakes. Morphling now sitting at 5.3 gold as Admiration, still doing something. He's actually going to get ticked by the Nature's Prophet Ultimate. Yeah, that was what that was. But he managed to pick up a Eul Scepter Divinity, something you never really see on Sand King, so M5 must be pretty confident about their chances of winning. Usually you want to pick up something like Shiva's, get a little bit more magic damage, I'm sorry, out onto the field, especially with the Veil of Discord already out. But regardless, their Morphling is just a sheer terror right now, and there's the Satanic flying in, so Morphling is completely stacked. Right now is dealing a shit ton of damage. There's a lot of utility, Lifesteal, Frost. Now have PGG looking for a 2-man Split Earth. Might not find it. If he does manage to get a 2-man Split Earth, they're dead. And we see a Hex going on to the Kunkka. He gets 4-staffed out, so he's going to be fine for now. Shackle going off onto the Batrider and an X-Torrent, but Morphling is here. Everyone run. Shadow Demon's getting taken down in 3 hits. Morphling popping his Mantis Style, going to be going on to Boom. Going to take one more Adaptive Strike, and he's going to be taken down as well. Trilly now on the run. He gets Flaming Lasso, so he's going to have to just stand there and wave his hands like an idiot. Alex getting chased down by PGG. Kunkka trying to back him up, but Kunkka not enough burst damage, and as I said before, the carry in Kunkka is nowhere near the carry that you get from that Morphling. It's a lot easier to take Kunkka out, and he's really reliant on that chip to set up bites, and there's the GG call from 4FC. M5 taking this game. Even though they were behind for quite a bit of the game, they just said, okay, enough's enough. Our Morphling is ready to kill everything, as we see. The Morphling sitting in the fountain. Look at it. Doesn't give a fuck. He's actually going to live? He's going to live by strength morphing. Oh my god, this Morphling is unkillable. He even has his Aegis, so he wasn't going to go down regardless, but the Ancient, I'm sorry, is going to get taken down and see a huge fountain farm fest. tanking, actually saving his Yule Scepter to save himself. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been 4FC versus M5 from the group stages of the defense. I will be casting more of these games to come. So once again, leave me any comments, criticism, all that good stuff. Look at that, gold per minute, XP per minute, absolutely insane by Morphling. So thanks for watching, guys. GG.